Hey guys, Shannon, Whitetail Stalker, back again with some more heavy arrow, light arrow, FOC testing type thing. And from the last test, I had some questions, and so we kind of tightened things up a little bit here with the testing and got some different arrows, and we made some adjustments here and got some raw numbers for you, and I'm going to let you know what those are. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to shoot two different types of broadheads with two different arrows, and we've got a control here, which they're all fletched exactly the same. They're all the same length. They're all 28 inches long. They're all fletched with 3-inch feathers on a right helical. Again, they're all 28 inches, and we'll just get right into it and make this short and sweet. But the first arrow we're going to shoot is the Element Quake. It's a 400 series arrow. We've got it tipped with a 100 grain Toxic Broadhead, and this arrow weighs 540 grains total weight. Tip, everything, 540 grains. That's a good weight for hunting purpose. And this arrow has an FOC of 13.39%. So if you want to see the numbers from just the shaft and some other stuff, then I can get those to you, but we're going to make this video a little bit quicker. So the second arrow we got is also tipped with the 3-blade Flying Arrow Archery Toxic Broadhead. This arrow is considerably heavier. We've got this arrow at 926 grains. That's right, 926 grains. We've made a heavy arrow here. And some people ask how we do that. We do that by adding weight to the insert, and also at the knock point here, we've got weights in this arrow to make this arrow heavier. This arrow is only 9 point something grains per inch. But we've got a 28-inch arrow with a 100 grain Toxic Broadhead on it, and the total weight, again, is 926 grains. And this has got an FOC of 23.21%. So we got an FOC 23%. So for those guys that didn't like my high FOC at 10%, here we go. Now we've got a high FOC at 23%. So right there, that is almost a 1,000 grain arrow with a 23% FOC. So, and then on the other end of the spectrum, because some people want to see penetration, which is kind of what we're looking at here, we've taken that same Element Quake 400 arrow, and we've tipped it with a 2-blade 125 grain Magnus Stinger. This is, basically your 2-blade. It's got the small bleeder blade in it. This arrow right here with the 125 grain broadhead on it weighs 562 grains total weight. The whole arrow, 562, and it has an FOC of 16.07%. So we've got a 16% FOC. Again, another heavy FOC arrow, but still a lighter arrow at 562. And we've taken that same Magnus Broadhead and we've put it on the exact same heavy arrow that we've got with the Toxic, one that we built with the Toxic. This arrow right here weighs a grand total of 958 grains. 958, tip included, broadhead included. It's a 125 grain broadhead, 2-blade Magnus Stinger, and 958 grains, and this arrow has an FOC of 24%. 24.10% exactly. So again, if you want to see those measurements and those percentages, just message me, and I'll put a video on there for you to show you how we go about getting the FOC and how we built the arrows. But again, we were adding weight to both the knock in, insert in. We've got 125 grain broadhead, and this is a 28-inch arrow. So we're going to shoot two broadheads, two Toxics, one with a 540 grain arrow and one with a 560 or a 926 grain arrow, and then we're going to shoot a 2-blade broadhead for comparison purposes with the Quake. That one's going to be at 562, and this one's going to be 958. We're pushing 1,000 grains, so that's going to be something to see. So, all right, we're going to jump out in the range, we're going to shoot them, and we'll video that for you, and you can see the penetration. Thanks. All right, there is our target. We're going to shoot the exact shot on the last FOC video that we shot. I just kind of like to maintain the same target. Again, we don't have a real deer, we don't have a live animal to practice on, we don't have bone, but we've got some rubberized material, some carpet, some plywood, and then foam. So, we're not shooting Kevlar or best here, we're shooting whitetail deer. That's the purpose of the test. So I don't want to get anything too radical. I mean, it's fun to shoot plywood and stuff like that, but I don't know that a deer is going to be as tough as a piece of 3/4 inch plywood. So maybe not a 1/2 inch plywood. So we're going to shoot some stuff that's somewhat soft, but it's got a little resistance to it, just to see what it ends up. Again, we're going to shoot 4 arrows, and we're going to shoot it from 20 yards. We're got the Bowtech BTX. Again, we've got it set at 53 pounds. We brought the draw weight up just a little bit, just to see what it'll do. So we're at 53 pounds, Bowtech BTX. So, and get shooting. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to leave the camera right here, so y'all can see the shots as they hit the target. Alright, there we go. Alright, here's the results. I'm just going to set it like this so you can see the penetration depth without having to mark the tape on it and everything. And this arrow is the lightweight 562 grain 2-blade Magnum Stinger broadhead. This is the lightweight arrow, the Element Quake, the 100 grain Flying Arrow Archery Toxic Broadhead. And our blue fleshings are, this one is the 2-blade Magnum Stinger 125. Again, this arrow weighs almost 1,000 grains, I believe 958. And this is the heavy arrow with the Flying Arrow Archery Toxic on it. And I'll show you, and you can tell that because you can see the toxic hole in the rubber there. But 20-yard test at 53 pounds, lightweight arrows, 2-blade, toxic. Heavy arrow, 2-blade, toxic. So looking at those 4, you tell me which one penetrates more. Obviously we have this one and we have this one, the 2 toxics. These are a 2-blade Magnum Stinger 125, a little bit heavier arrow. So at 53 pounds, you know, you're going to be able to, you're going to get the same penetration in general on this target with a 100 grain toxic as you get a 125 2-blade Magnum Stinger. So that tells me a couple of things. Actually, it tells me one thing. The Element Arrow Quake is just awesome. So get you some of those. Look at how much penetration you got compared to the other arrows. So anyway, there's a comparison test for you. Once again, if you missed it, this is the 2-blade Magnum Stinger 125. The 3-blade Flying Arrow Archery Toxic 100 grain with the light arrows, 500 grains roughly, and these arrows are just shy of 1,000 grains. This one is the 2-blade Muzzing, and this is the Flying Arrow Archery Toxic. So you can see the penetration depths. I'll zoom in on it. You can get a better look. I think it's straight on with it. There, that's a good comparison to the penetration, how much it went in. So, and if there's any doubt, that's the Stinger. That is no doubt a toxic right there. Element 2-blade Magnum Stinger. Flying Arrow Archery Toxic makes a hole like no other. There it is, 1/2 inch plywood. Why? No other reason, because we can. We're not trying to say that this is a deer. We're not trying to say this is an elk shoulder or a moose or a bear or an armadillo or a rabbit or a squirrel. This is plywood. We are going to shoot plywood just to see what it does, because we can. Same 4 arrows. Here we go. Well, would you look at that? Nearly the same result. Okay. Alright, I didn't mean to get that so close. But that Toxic went in there first. And then that magnet stick to it. And the Toxic is this one with the yellow knock. Magnet Stinger is the white knock. Toxic is the yellow knock. Let's see the penetration result here. Alright, once again, the blue fletching arrows are the heavy arrows and the orange fletching are the light arrows. The two with the most penetration are the Flying Arrow Archery Toxic, and the two with the less are the 2-blade broadhead. So right through a 1/2-inch piece of plywood, exact same result as the carpet foam, wood foam, rubber test. So maybe there's something to this. We're going to keep on testing though. Never stops. Thank you all for watching. I didn't show you all this, but there is the front of the arrows. There's the back. Went through the plywood into the foam. So 20 yards at 53 pounds. And they say a Flying Arrow Archery Toxic Broadhead won't penetrate. I beg to differ. Right there, right there. So, Element Quake arrows, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Those dudes are tough. Get you some Element Quakes. That'll help things a lot.